Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please give your confirmations in the chat box, please. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you all for your confirmations in the chat box. Let us stop the chat. Perfect. Let us stop the chat. Perfect. So what are we learning today? I'll be introducing you string data type. How can we deal with multi-line string literals? Using index in string. So when should we use index? How should we use indexing? There are two types of indexing, positive indexing, negative indexing. We'll be discussing both. Why should we use slice operator and how should we use slice operator? Length function, as I just discussed, we'll discuss about positive indexing and negative indexing. This means the entire session of today is planned for string data type. We have experienced integer data type. I hope you remember. We have discussed about float data type. We have discussed about Boolean data type. Boolean data type is having only two values, either true or false. Today, we are learning more about string data type. We are experiencing how the string data type will work. So this is our plan for today. Any questions? Perfect. I hope you have installed Python. I hope you have installed Edit Plus. Okay, so I also share the Edit Plus key because some of you have sent an email. But before you get the response quickly, I am sending the Edit Plus key in the chat box. You can use this NAS Edit Plus comes with the trial version of 30 days. You can use it, but in case you want to activate it, I'm sending the Edit Plus key in the chat box. You can use that Edit Plus key and then renew the license. I'm going to activate the license. Perfect. Perfect. Let's deal with string data type. Let's deal with string data type. What do you mean by string? A string is nothing but sequence of characters. We have learned how to deal with numbers. We have experienced integer data type. We have experienced float data type. So now I'm showing you how to deal with characters. Sequence of characters. For example, how do you represent my name? Sunil is considered a string in Python. Whenever you're dealing with strings, that means when you're dealing with this kind of words, when you want to save some names in a particular variable, you have to represent that particular string in single quotes. We have to represent the string in single quotes or in double quotes, whichever you feel comfortable. Participants, whichever you feel comfortable, you follow that particular syntax. I am comfortable with single quotes. Most of the time I deal with single quotes, but you can also use double quotes. Clear? Let's open the learning environment. Let's open the learning environment. You all know how to open the learning environment. Immediately, let's go to the command prompt. Just use the word Python. So the learning environment gets open. Now what I want to do, I want to store a string. I want to store my name. My name is nothing but sequence of characters SUNIL in a variable. So that's called a string. So I want to store a string in my variable A. So variable A equal to, and string, I can enclose it in single quotes. I can enclose it in double quotes. To start with, I'm enclosing in single quotes. Single quotes close. I'm done. I have stored the values Sunil into the variable A. What is the data type of A? So if you want to know the data type of A, we have a type function which helps you to identify the data type of this variable A. Now the variable A is what data type? STR stands for string data type. This is the first time we are experiencing string data type. In a previous session, we have experienced integer data type, we have experienced float data type, we have experienced Boolean data type, we have experienced string data type now. Not only in single quotes, you can also include it in double quotes also. Same variable, I want to use it and I want to enclose it in double quotes. Perfect. Type of A, now A is considered as string. So you can enclose, you will not get any error. You can enclose in single quotes, you can enclose in double quotes. This is how you have to deal with strings. Multi-line. Let's say there are multiple lines. You want to save it in variable. You want to store a simple paragraph in a particular variable, not just one word. Group of words, group of lines also. Some 4 or 5 lines of string you want to save it in a particular variable. That is called multi-line string literals. When you want to deal with multiple line string literals, then the syntax what you need to follow is triple quotes. Then you please enclose it in triple quotes. If it is one word, couple of words with spaces, you enclose it in single quotes or double quotes. But if there are multiple lines, participants, if it is multiple lines, you have to enclose it in triple quotes. Please observe here. Variable A equal to in triple quotes, I'm writing logic labs. I press enter and I continue with something like technology is triple quotes, please. Now, if you write type of A is what? String data type. Print of A is that double is multi-line string literals. Am I able to deal with multiple line string literals? Yes. Okay, so this is how you can deal with multi-line string literals. Okay, very simple. Okay, next. Let's say I'm storing a value Sunil in my variable A. Participants. Let's say I'm storing a value Sunil in a variable A. How can I access characters of a particular string? Let's say I want to access the first character. Let's say I want to access the last character. I want to access individual characters. String is collection of characters, right? Here it is collection of how many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. How can I access the string characters, individual characters? I want to access the first character. I want to access the last character. How can you access individual characters? Okay, so let's say I'm storing participants. Let's say I'm storing a value Sunil. Print of A, the entire string will be printed. The entire string will be printed as it is. I don't want to print the entire string. I want to print only the first character. I want to print only the first character. Print of A of square bracket 0. 0. You can access individual characters by using index. Index number starts with 0. Index number starts with 0. I want to print the first character. The index of first character is 0. So you're getting, please observe the response. Are you getting yes? Perfect. Clear? If you want to access the first character, the index number starts with 0. You can, that is the advantage of indexing. You can access the entire string. You don't want to access the entire string. You want to access only specific characters. You can do it by using indexing. Please have a look at this diagram. Please look at this diagram. These are called index numbers. Index numbers always starts with 0. If you want to print the first character, index number 0. If you want to access last character, index number 4. Shall you try to access the last character? Yes, you can do it by index number 4. Print of the string variable is A of, I'm dealing with the 4. Sorry, I'm dealing with 4. You can see the value L is printed. Clear about this? So you have to use indexing, my dear participants. You have to use indexing if you want to access a specific character. Perfect. Good morning, Rohini. How are you doing?
Hi, sir. I'm doing good. Thank you. Morning. So I have very basic question. I joined today only.
Today is your first class?
Yeah, yes, sir.
How do you know about this class?
I was earlier AWS batch student of yours. So that's why I had that group with me.
Okay.
And
today is day 3. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Day 1 and day 2, you can check our YouTube channel. Okay. For the video. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Question is, are you going to provide the whole Python course here, or like only basics of
the complete Python is divided into 2 parts.
Okay.
Okay. First part is core Python. Core Python is nothing but basic Python. Second part is full stack Python using Django framework.
Okay.
That is 2 parts. I have divided Python into 2 parts. This is part 1. Basic Python, which will cover 1 month. Okay.
Mhm.
Full stack Python using Django framework is approximately 45 days. So this together will be the complete Python course.
Okay, but this particular course is I need to pay for the only core Python concepts.
This is only core Python. You are right.
Okay, so you'll be going to take the full stack Python as well?
Yes, I will be taking full stack also. Not now immediately.
Mhm.
Few days probably.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
The
That
schedule
was
of the advanced Python is not yet decided.
okay, sir. Sure.
Thank you, Rohit. Shruti,
Hi,
good
Sunil.
morning, Shruti.
Good morning. I just have a small query regarding the indexing part which you are currently teaching. When we let's say it's just a name as of now in the example, that is Sunil, and it contains of words, right? So A of 0 would be S,
Correct.
correct? Now let's say there are multiple how would I say, multiple
A very big value. Let's
yes,
say some
multiple entries
40 to 45
entries.
letters.
I wouldn't count it as a word, but I would want to know how will this
What do you mean by
index.
entries?
Let's say there
Let's
are
say group
numbers,
of
40
students.
entries.
Group of
Yes,
students.
yes, yeah, okay,
Let's say
group of
40
entries.
names. 40
Right,
names.
correct.
Okay.
So
Okay.
then what would be the result if I
Correct.
print A of
So when you want to plan, when you want to store group of values, okay, then there's something called uh, uh, advanced data types. Normally here variable can store only one value. Okay, variable A you're storing
okay,
10, you're
uh-huh.
storing 20. Forget about strings. You want to store group of marks of a
Correct.
students of a particular
Yes.
class. So in such case, we have list data type. Okay, so where you can have list of values. Okay, so how do you deal with list of values?
Okay,
You'll
okay.
understand it when you're dealing with list of
Okay,
marks, list of students,
got
okay,
it.
and all those. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Kandapur,
Hello.
good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, this is Enoch.
Anok, how are you? Your location?
Good. My location is at Andhra Pradesh,
Mhm.
Kakinada.
Okay.
Okay. This is my first class joining today.
How do you know about this class?
From one of my friend.
Is he also joining in this batch now?
In this batch, not in previous batch.
He's from the previous batch.
Yeah. Basically, I'm working as a DevOps engineer.
You're already working as DevOps engineer. Very good. Okay. How many years of
Basically,
experience?
I have 4 years of experience.
Any specific reason why are you planning to learn
Sorry,
Python?
sorry, I didn't get it.
Any specific reason why are you planning to learn Python?
No, because Lord, right now it is very mandatory in DevOps to in lot of
Especially, yes.
projects.
Not only in DevOps, in almost all the technologies, Python is
Yeah.
really
That's why I'm
used.
very okay. No, right now I'm very interested to. I am very
Oh.
elaborate and collaborate.
Yeah.
Python.
Thank
Okay.
you.
That
Yes.
one. Basically, how much it will take for DevOps? Core Python is enough or some?
Core Python for a DevOps professional, core Python is enough. If you
Okay.
want to become a Python developer, if you want to develop applications using Python, then you go for advanced Python using Django.
Basically, this was
You want to stick to DevOps, right? So core Python is enough for you.
Okay.
Okay.
It will take almost 1 month.
1 month, correct. 1 month approximately.
Okay. Can I see the yesterday's and day before yesterday class?
It is available in the YouTube channel. So go for Logic Labs Technologies in YouTube channel. Okay.
Okay.
You can search for Logic Labs Technologies in your YouTube channel. You'll get day 1 and day 2 video
Okay.
uploaded.
I will get a.
Are you in the WhatsApp group?
No, yeah, I'm in the WhatsApp.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Ahmed.
Yeah, well, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I have a few questions about the indexing.
I have not yet completed indexing.
So,
Okay.
the one you did last week. Okay.
Let me
I
complete
tried-
indexing
okay.
and then we'll have an interaction.
Right.
So you have a basic understanding how exactly indexing work. If you want to access a specific character, you want first character, you want last character, or you want some specific character, nth particular n number of nth character, you can use the index number. We have seen index number 0 is printing S, index number 4 is printing L. Perfect. Let's move on. Now, using index number, you can access specific character, the first character or last character. Now, you don't want specific character, you want some group of characters to be accessed. Out of this Sunil, SUNIL, you want this UNI, you want some group of characters, you want a slice of a particular string, part of a particular string. So in such case, we have to use an operator called slice operator. What do you mean by slice? If you look at the general dictionary meaning, not the technology meaning. So if you look at the term slice meaning, generally the dictionary meaning is nothing but a portion of bread, a slice of a bread, a piece, a portion, a chunk. Are you understanding? These are the meanings similar to the concept of slice. Slice is nothing but portion or a part of a particular value. So here I want the same thing. I want a slice in my particular string. So I want just this particular 3 letters to be printed, or you want last 2 letters to be printed. You want a group, a part of a particular string to be printed. In such case, I hope you have understood. You will be using the concept of slice. What is the meaning of the word slice? I hope you got the concept of slice with respect to string. Whenever you want to get the part of the string, then in such case, we have to use slice operator. For example, I want UNI. Please observe here. This is the entire string, Sunil. I want UNI. These 3 letters I want to print. That means you want a slice of the above string. So when you want to slice, then look at the syntax here, what you have to follow. You have to use you have to mention the begin index and you have to mention the end index. You have to use begin index and end index. You need to, obviously, you have to use beginning index and ending index. For example, I'm writing 1:3. Begin index is 1. For example, 0 is S and the second character is 1. So U, which is begin index. And when you write end index, it returns end -1. It returns end -1. So when you mention 3, it is 3 - 1. Index number 2 will be considered. So let's do this. What is index number 2? Index number 2 is UN. So the output is you're getting UN. Okay, so is it 3 getting considered, my dear participants? Tell me, is it 3 getting considered? 3 is not getting considered, am I right? So 3 - 1 is considered. So you get the n - 1. So you are able to get, anyways, using the slice, you are able to get the part of the string. So if you want UNI, so you have to mention 4. So 4 - 1, 3 will be considered. So let's do that. Print of 1:4. So UNI is printed. Perfect. Perfect. So that's how you are now able to understand the slice of the string. There are a few important things you need to keep in mind, participants. There are a few important things you need to keep in mind when you're dealing with slices. When you do not specify begin index, as per the syntax, you have to mention the begin index and an index. But what happens when you do not specify begin index? When you do not specify begin index, it starts from the beginning of the string. That means the default index number of the begin index is 0. If you don't specify begin index, if you just mention the end index, it will return the begin index, which will consider is 0, right from the first character. You will get SUN. Got it? Yes. Similarly, if you don't specify end index, I have only specified beginning index. I have not specified the ending index. When you don't specify ending index, it returns all the characters till end of the string. So right from index number 2. So what is index number 2? Index number 2 is N. So from the index number 2, all the letters will be printed. All the letters will be printed. If you do not specify begin index and end index, that means you will get the entire string. If your requirement is to begin entire string, you don't need to use slice operator. You can just write the variable name, you get the entire string. So I hope I'm clear about how to use indexes. What is the benefit of using indexes? If you want to access a specific character, you can use index, and we have a concept of slicing where you have to mention the begin index and end index, and you get the part of the particular string. Perfect. Let's proceed. My requirement is I want to perform this. My requirement, I want to convert Sunil to Sunil. You may have a question, Sunil, what is the difference between this particular string and this particular string? There's a difference. The first letter is in lowercase, or in fact, all the letters are in lowercase. Here, only the first letter is in uppercase, rest of the letters are in lowercase. So I want to convert the first letter into uppercase, and rest of the letters, I want to keep it as it is. If this is your requirement, this is called title case. Every word, first letter should be in uppercase. If this is your requirement, how do you achieve it? How do you achieve it? Please have a look at this. Who wants to talk to me with respect to this particular example? Please raise your hand. Who wants to talk to me with respect to this particular example? Please raise your hand. Good morning, Bushra.
Yeah, hi.
Good morning, Bushra. I can hear you. What will be the output of this particular two statements? Bushra? Can you hear me, Bushra?
Yeah.
What is the output of print of A?
It's okay because directly to me with lower case.
Your voice is not clear. If you write print of A, the entire string is printed as it is. But my requirement is the first letter should be converted into uppercase. How do you access that particular first letter? You can access the first letter by using index number 0. Try to understand what I'm doing here. For the index number 0 of particular variable A, index number 0 refers to yes, there is upper function. Like how we have print function, like how we have ID function. Okay, like how we have type function, we have learned how to use functions in our previous classes. We have learned some predefined functions. Similarly, there's a upper function. Anyways, exclusive functions related classes we have it. But in this example, in this particular context, let me explain this. We have an upper function which will convert this particular letter to uppercase. Now is S is now converted into uppercase. So this is done. Plus, you want to now add UNIL. Yes is already converted to this particular uppercases. You want to add UNIL. This is nothing but slice of a particular string. So you can use slice operator. Okay, you can use slice operator. This A of 0 of upper is converting it to uppercase yes, plus is a concatenation. And I don't want first character. I start with index number 1. Index number 1 is nothing but UNIL. If you don't mention big ending index, it will give you the entire letters. So I'm using concatenation. So this letter upper letter S, uppercase S, we concatenated with rest of the letters will be printed. So this is how, as a developer, if you're aiming for a Python developer, these kind of logical skills you have to improve it. Logically, you have to think and then achieve the results based on the predefined functions, whatever you're having. So I have converted the lowercase Sunil into S as an uppercase and the same string. And this particular value, can I store it in a different variable? Yes, you can store it in a different variable. I'm converting it and storing it into the variable B. So this variable is now the value stored in variable B. And if you want to see print of B, now you can see the letter S is printed. So you have to use this kind of predefined functions to achieve the business requirements or client requirements. Okay, so this is about positive indexing. So I have explained about indexing. I have explained about indexing. So index number starts with 0. So every specific index, specific character, you can access by using index. Perfect. In Python, there is a concept of negative indexing. There is a concept of negative indexing. What is negative indexing? We'll discuss now. Before moving on, Qayyum.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you, Qayyum?
Yeah, fine. All right.
What's your question?
So, my question is, suppose we have one complete paragraph or number of pages. In that one, if we need to change, like, my name is Qayyum, my father name is Rashiduddin, I
That
live
is
in Hyderabad.
that is called file handling. When you
Yeah.
want some, that is called, let's say you want to change your resume. Agree?
Yeah.
Resume is part of file. You can do by using
So,
file handling.
in
In
that one,
Python,
yeah.
this is just for variables. Okay.
Yeah, in that one, in that resume, if lot of words I need to change, so it is applicable using Python?
Right. But you have to use file handling in Python. Okay. That's a different
Oh.
concept.
Okay.
Okay.
That also covered in this
We will
section?
discuss that. File
Oh.
handling will discuss. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
We have discussed about indexing. There's something called negative indexing. What is this negative indexing? Let's try to understand. Let's learn about positive indexing and negative indexing. Please look at the image. Perfect. Whatever we have learned is called positive indexing. Whatever we have learned now, the concept of indexing to access specific characters, that is positive indexing. In Python, there is a concept of negative indexing also. There's a concept of negative indexing also. You can see the index numbers are negative numbers. You can see the index numbers are negative numbers. You may have questions. Sunil, we also, anyways, we have positive indexing. What is the need for negative indexing? What is the need for negative indexing? Okay. Now, please observe. A equal to Sunil. I want to print the last letter. I want to print last letter. What is there? It is very simple. You will have an answer. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So index number starts with 0. So last letter is L, is nothing but index number 4. So print of A of index number 4 will print letter L. Okay. Yes, pretty simple. So now let's say if it's a very big variable. Now I want to print the last letter P. I want to print the last letter P. Okay. So whenever you want to print the last letter, blindly use negative indexing. Print of A of negative indexing -1 always refers to last letter is identified with -1. That's a thumb rule. Developer can easily access by using last letter by using negative indexing. You can see using L. If you want to print L, you have two options. You're using positive indexing, you can use index number 4, or happily you can use -1 to get the last letter. So blindly, whenever developer wants to access the last letter, developer always go for negative indexing. That's one use case of using a negative indexing. You don't need to count from the beginning. You don't need to count from the beginning. So there are two options, both positive indexing and negative indexing, whichever you feel comfortable. One thing, blindly, if you want the last letter, please use -1. Negative indexing starts with -1. -1, -2. You can see how exactly negative indexing is used. So these are the two options we are having. Okay. Now look at this requirement. Look at this requirement. Sunil, I want to convert into Sunil. The only difference is the last letter should be changed to uppercase. So happily last letter you can access it by using negative indexing, right? By using a negative indexing, you can access it, isn't it? Okay. Before getting into negative indexing, one thing which I have to discuss about before positive indexing and negative indexing is a len function. LEN stands for length. Length function will help in returning length of the string. length function will help in returning length of the string. Example. Sunil, what do you have a question? Sunil, what do you mean by length of the string? For example, variable a equal to, I'm storing it as something like ABCD. We have a length of a. What it is returning? Length LEN stands for length. It returns the length of the string. Your string is 4 characters long. So whenever you want to know the length of the string, you have to use length function. There is a predefined function called length. There is a predefined function called length, which helps you to get the length of the string. For example, variable a equal to, for example, even space is also considered. Length of. So Logic Labs Technologies is 22 characters long. So whenever you want to know the length of a particular string, you have to use a function called LEN, stands for length function. Now, if this is your requirement, I want this particular Sunil to convert it to Sunil only. Only thing, the last letter should be converted to uppercase. So what I'm doing here. First, I want to break this into 2 parts. SUNI, this should be as is, plus the last letter should be converted N. So how to get this SUNI? This is nothing but a slice operator. Whenever you want to know the part of the string, you have to use slice operator. Begin index should be 0 because right from the beginning, I want all the characters. And ending index is length minus 1. Length is converting into 5. 5 minus 1 is nothing but 4. So you'll get this 0, 1, 2, 3, 0 to 3. So you'll get SUNIL plus. How can I access the last letter? Blindly, you can use negative indexing by using last letter. A of minus 1 is nothing but last letter. Dot upper will convert the last letter to upper. And finally, the particular value Sunil will be stored in the variable B. Okay. Okay, I'm using indexing, so I'm using indentation, so I should not have any. Remember, you should not give any spaces after. You should not give any space after angular greater than 0. You'll get an indentation error. Perfect. Print of B. So can you see SUNIL is printed? Perfect. So I just want to show you blindly whenever you want to access last character, you can use negative indexing. That is one of the main use case. But strings, remember there are 2 types of indexing, positive indexing as well as negative indexing. Perfect. We have positive indexing as well as negative indexing. Perfect. Any questions? Any questions on positive indexing? Any questions on negative indexing? Any questions on how to deal with strings? Yes, Ahmed.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. In the aspect of the multi-strings, okay, here you got Logic Lab technologies, okay, and the spaces. So if, for example, I want to access, yes, I want to access the T, okay, and the space is there. So
It will be difficult. It will be difficult because you know the index, you have to know the index number of T. Okay.
yeah. So what about the spaces? How are you going to deal about that?
There are some predefined functions which helps you to trim the spaces and remove the unnecessary spaces. Okay. When we learned about string functions exclusively, we learn how can we do that. Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so this is it is a small session of only 35 minutes, but I hope you have enjoyed the session. One more point, 1 minute, please. Yes, so it is a small session. I hope you have enjoyed the session. See you there tomorrow. Please complete the payment formalities if you want to continue the training because the meeting link may change. Okay, so we are already in day 3. And please complete the payment formalities. Anyways, I'll update you when the meeting link changes. But if you have taken a decision, please complete the payment so that you can continue the learning of Python. Yes, Pawan. Good morning, Pawan. How is today's class?
Yeah, good. Hi, Sunil. Good morning. Yeah, thanks for the classes. And just I want to clarify a few things on the course content. I mean, I've gone through the course content. I just need a clarification, few topics, whether it's covering or any other course those are covering.
Tell
Like the expressions and API modules and YAML file related and network programming related topics are covering in this core Python, or it should, or in another session.
What are the topics? Please repeat.
Yeah, one second. Regular expressions, I'm saying.
We will cover regular expressions.
Okay, API related.
API related, we will not cover.
Okay, yeah, YAML, using the YAML files, how we
will learn about YAML file in this core Python class.
Okay, and network programming.
Network programming is part of advanced Python.
Advanced,
okay.
And we will have something on debugging also.
Yes, correct. We will learn how can we perform debugging for a particular Python application. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for clarification. And one more thing in general is somehow from the chart, right? I'm not able to copy the text.
Okay. Are you attending from your mobile phone or you
No,
attending
I'm
from
using Mac.
Okay.
Somehow I'm not able to. I'm getting only the select all option, but even Control C, or if I use the mouse.
Okay, what do you want to copy? You want to copy username?
No, whatever, if anything you pasted in the chart, those content I'm not able to.
Okay, generally I will not paste anything most of the time. Okay. Only I have placed this time today I have pasted use key. Is it edit plus key? Do you want that?
Yeah, generally, because I don't.
Generally, you will not find. You don't need to find anything to copy from the chat box. Okay, so whatever is important. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
I will be pasting it.
Yeah, and this document, whatever the document you are sharing, will be
every day. This document as well as recording will be shared to you. Okay.
Okay, because I see in the only the recording link.
Because these are the demo sessions, right? It will be shared to the paid candidates.
Oh,
okay.
Later ones. Yeah.
Already paid candidates started receiving their recordings on their Logic Labs portal. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how they can access. Okay.
Yeah, got it. Thanks for
okay. Thank you. Bushra.
Yeah, Sunil, every day this class will be like for 1 hour, right?
Daily 1 hour.
Okay.
11 o'clock to 12 o'clock approximately.
Okay, we will get a daily link, like once we are registered, we will get the daily link to, I mean,
link will not change. You will not get the link daily. You will get link. That link is valid for 30 days. Okay. The link will not change. Link is fixed. Like how today link is not changed, right? You are using the same meeting link what you have joined yesterday. Am I right?
No, I have joined today.
Yeah. Oh, today is your first day. Okay. Using the same link, you can join tomorrow also. But once the demo sessions has been completed, the meeting link will change and the new meeting link will be shared only to the paid candidates. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you all. See you tomorrow for much more important concepts of Python. Have a good time. Thank you.